Hey everyone, it's Army Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. In this video, we're going to go over a sneak peek. It's just one information, that's all we have info on, but we're also going to do some PvP action because this new monster that we have information on is going to partner really well with the upcoming Tails monster, which you should be saving gems for. Now, of course, everything we're about to go over, it is not official, it is not confirmed. SP is always able to change something by the time something actually gets released. So this monster, Galvanus, by the way, I'm on Chinchilla Leaks, link in the description if you want to join. This monster is going to be one of the bounty hunt monsters. So let's take a look at this. Galvanus description: he's a thunder and light support with positive and negative effect removal, torches, and blind skills. So if I remember correctly, I think players think this is going to be the free-to-play monster because, as we all know, anytime we have the bounty hunts, the exclusive monster has to be an attacker, has to be the fugitive hater monster. It wouldn't make sense to give fugitive hater to support monster that can't even dish out damage against the enemy. So there's a high likelihood this monster is going to be the free-to-play monster. But then when I look at skills, it looks like, oh well, if he's dual element, has SP given us? I'm trying to think of previous, but we have Snowgross. He was one element. Snowgross. I don't even remember who the first one was, but yeah. Let's see, Alchemist, blah blah. Okay, we don't need to go into the lore. Let's just look into the skills. So we have Light of Wisdom, removes 20% of total life from one enemy. Okay, standard skill, it's spammable. Removes positive effects from one enemy and all negative effects from allies. I love this. It's a way of removing the enemy like Status Cast or Megaton, and at the same time cleansing all negative effects from your team. That's great. Bolt Overcharge applies anticipation to an ally and daze to all enemies. So this monster can grant anticipation. And keep in mind, we just got Rariz, who can literally turn transfer to the enemy, which means you can trigger anticipation, which means Galvanus goes first, gives anyone anticipation, and then you can do your turn transfer skill to the enemy, and then you get a free turn with your monster. Alright, let's keep going. Removes positive effects from an enemy, removes 20% of total life from all enemies. Okay, this one's interesting. So you're removing whatever positive effects they have, so if it's evasion, and then you follow up with a 20% total life removal, this is going to be useful against, what's his name, Pangoliath, because there's not really anything you can remove, right? He has permanent Megatons. If anything, you're removing like a status caster evasion. Maybe it's pure Panda from Pango. You can get rid of the evasion and then 60% of total life from Pango. That's pretty useful. Moving on, removes positive effects from an enemy, then from all enemies applies positive effect block. I think this is a phenomenal skill right here. Double positive effect removal and AoE effect removal, and you're blocking positive effects. It's like nanovirus. I mean, like, SP's given a lot of this, right? Like, let's remove, let's remove, let's remove. Almost all these skills we've been seeing removes, removes, removes. So, all these status casters that monsters are getting, it's like they don't even mean anything. And this is why status caster Megaton is not as powerful as we've seen before. And I really do think SP is trying to bring back a denier meta, since they're giving us so many monsters that are removing positive effects. So you 3-speed them, and then you have a follow-up monster that can deny, right? Like, with Galvanus, I can use Zyron. With Rariz, I can use Zyron, although Rariz is fun because I could time stop, so I don't even need another denier. That serves as my main denier. But moving on, Justice Flare, 30% total life removal and major damage reduction and blind. So this one's pretty cool because I think with this kind of monster, you're really going after reducing accuracy and reducing damage output. So you would do this against an attacker, maybe a denier, so you don't get hit with the denial, but you're also taking away a good chunk of their life. So this monster doesn't need any strength or anything. So it's just running speed, team speed, maybe life, and you can still take away a chunk of the enemy, potentially kill an enemy. That's pretty cool. Moderate thunder damage applies Electrified. This is one of the monsters that can do one of the new dots, Electrified. Applies Electrified, moderate thunder damage to all enemies, Electrified to everyone. So we have an AoE Electrified, and dots are one of the best ways to take down enemy monsters. So that's unique because as of right now, only Plantamination can do Electrified. Sunburn and Blind, again, that's accuracy reduction. Sunburn reduces accuracy and Blind reduces accuracy. Removes 30% of total life from all enemies. Again, against Pangoliath, that's 90%. Unfortunately, you can't run a hidden shiv on this monster and deal some extra crazy damage. But we do have Burnt Blood, and, you know, that's a good dot against a Pangoliath, so potentially killing Pango with this. Major damage reduction and blind to everyone. That is awesome. Low light damage, daze and sunburn. More accuracy reduction. We have the sunburn and blind. We have the daze and sunburn. And this one deals damage, so you can activate your talents depending on what you're having. But this is the main skill right now. Righteous Blaze. Gives anticipation and removes all negative effects from allies. Okay, your whole entire team gets anticipation. Think about the combinations you're going to be able to do. Galvanus can go first. Anticipation to the whole entire team. So anticipation to Rariz, anticipation to yourself, anticipation to your third monster. Rariz goes, turn transfers to the enemy, and all three of your monsters get a turn in. That is pretty darn cool. That is pretty darn cool. And when you look at your other skills, you'd probably rock this, right? Removes positive effects from the enemy, then from all enemies, positive effect block. You would probably do this. So even if there was status caster Megataunt, it's gone. And any positive effects the enemy had, gone. And positive effect block. So then Rotters can go and AoE time stop. You're good. It's game over. Maybe use the Barbatos talent that applies death countdown, and then you death countdown everyone, and then you time stop and they die, right? Keep in mind you can also do Voltage Leak, removes positive effects and removes negative effects from allies. So you get rid of the death countdown on your main monster that's running that, and then the enemy's death countdown, and you're doing the time stop, and you're denying or CDA, it's crazy the potential combos you're going to be able to do. That being said, to me it does seem like a lot of work. So is this monster going to be PvP meta? I don't know. I think players can just kind of move to using Pango more on defense. Right now he is kind of falling in numbers, but players could always go back to him. And then the whole fact that you need to give your whole team anticipation first and then have Raris, you need this monster going first followed by the next monster, which means you still need someone to protect you, so you still need like a status caster Megaton, so Pangoliath. So the question is, do you really want to do Pangoliath, Raris, Galvanus in a team? It seems like a lot of work. It's easier to just I still run Zol, Starkiller, and then a Megaton monster, and I'm good to go. So it really depends on you, but it's a cool, interesting combo you can do. I think it kind of makes more sense in war scenarios. Again, it's really cool, but I'm not willing to say it's going to be this broken, amazing combination. Everyone's going to be using it. I don't think it's going to go that far. But it does open up some serious combinations, right? Some very serious combinations. So now I want to take you guys into PvP, and I want to kind of mimic what it's going to be able to do. Obviously, I can't since I don't have Galvanus yet, but this is essentially going to be it, right? So it's almost like, especially, what's cool is if you don't have Ancient Cloak, because this was a paywall talent, again, Galvanus is going to be able to give your whole team anticipation, so this monster has permanent anticipation, and then, obviously, Raris is not going to get anticipation, but I want you guys to kind of imagine what it's going to look like. So we'll fight with this team, and keep in mind this was the Raris that was given to me by SP, so I'm just going to be exiting now. I'm not going to win the battle. Alright, so just imagine a situation in which Galvanus did go first and give my whole team anticipation, and then this is the skill right here. Wait, no, where is it? Thought Provoker. Activates cooldowns, applies nanovirus, and gives 1 extra turn. So, we would click it, boom, there we go, anticipation. And then my monster would get a turn in. Now, Raris would also get a turn in, and obviously Raris can remove positive effects and do more stuff. So, this evasion here wouldn't matter. And I've told you guys, as soon as we get a really strong Pierce monster, I mean, technically we have Jaeger, so you can use him. I do have my Stock Killer with anticipation, so that's a meta mechanic I could use. Funny enough, even a slow Megaton monster, you can now give them Ancient Cloak, or if you have Galvanus, you can make one of your taunts one of your taunt monsters that can hold. Again, I'm trying to think okay, if you don't have Ancient Cloak, if you had Galvanus and Clutch, you can make it work, because then Clutch can go set up the Megatons, and now you protect yourself. You have the Megaton, right? And then again, a Pierce monster would be able to go and attack. In this case, unfortunately, I got shocked. So this is why Galvanus' skill, if you remember here, let's go back to it. This skill right here is going to be quite formidable. Removes positive effects and negative status effects from your allies. So I would have been able to get rid of the shock, and then I could attack and no problem. So we're gonna be doing some really cool, interesting stuff. That's for sure. So here, we'll just purple volley, deal damage. My Megaton monster is gonna absorb most of the attacks. Or all the attacks if I don't die. Oh man, I died. Alright, here, let's see if we can finish you off. And yes, we did. Boom. Yeah, we're going to be able to do some really cool stuff. So, I'm really liking it. I am. Oh yeah, not to mention, on Raris, you can run Spear of Destiny, and then you just do an AoE scale, and you remove positive effects from everyone. Right? That's something you're going to be able to pull off. So, it's really cool. Plus 2 vision gives 1 extra to the top. So that's kind of what I wanted to showcase. This is the main monster that people have been talking about in the comments. So I wanted to showcase that. So now you've seen it yourself, essentially kind of how it's going to work. So let me know what you guys think about Galvanus. What impact do you think he's going to be? Obviously going to partner with Raris, but is it really worth it for PvP? Any thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys very much, and remember to subscribe.